It's Chief Flamehead here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video, where today, I, me, still in this skin. Yes, it is Chief Flamehead, if you're wondering. Today I am showing you a very interesting concept that, someone in the comments, presented to me, and, forgive me, I cannot remember your name right now. His name is Darren Edits. I will demonstrate what I have here. So basically what it is it's a time stop clock. So basically it will freeze time and everything in the time itself. So when I hold the clock, it will actually like freeze everything except for me. There's nothing that you can see that is frozen right now except for the sun won't move. Fire will no longer spread. Mobs cannot grief blocks anymore. And it also makes it so it is not possible to start any form of weather. Same thing is, if it is raining, then it will continue raining, but you'll see as soon as I let go of the clock, you'll see the sun will start moving once again. So, why don't I go ahead and get to the interesting part. So if I go ahead and put myself into survival, and we go ahead and do time set night. Oh, and the last thing is, when I'm holding the clock in my hand, it also stops any more mobs. It stops any more mobs from actually spawning. So we're getting quite a few spawns here. So why don't I go ahead and just show you how this works. So if there's a husk coming towards me and I go ahead and hold this, the husk is now trapped in his place. So if I go ahead and I try to shoot an arrow, you see that it actually will not allow me to shoot the arrow, because it is being frozen in the actual air itself. Now, as soon as I let go of this, you'll see the arrows will drop to the ground, and he will start moving once again. This applies to any mob. Also, when they are frozen like this, they cannot inflict damage upon me in any way, shape, or form. So you can just hang out with your little buddy here, and they will not move from that position at all. There's still a little bit of a visual glitch with the arrows. There's not a whole ton I can do about that. But also the fact is that if I throw an item, so I go ahead and I throw an item and I hit go to here, the item is actually above my head right there. It is, it's visual that it's falling down like that, but actually it's above my head. So if I jump, you'll see I'll actually collect that. That goes for any items. So now for a creeper, when they explode, you'll see right here, they don't inflict any damage, except they do leave behind their weakness particle, which is just so that way the mobs can't hurt me, and it was just easiest to apply them to all mobs rather than individual mobs. So that's cool. Also the skeletons, their arrows will not shoot no matter what they do, and so that's pretty cool. You can also see that the time of day has not changed at all. Spiders cannot move, they cannot inflict damage. The only thing that can possibly break this actual concept, this time stop thing, is, I believe an Enderman is the only thing that can do it. I'm not for sure on that, but as soon as I let go, you'll see all the mobs will start moving again. Like I said, this goes for all mobs except possibly an Enderman, as well as witches can still throw potions at you. But then the other thing I wanted to show you was, if I shoot some snowballs, then I hold this, the snowballs will actually freeze in the air, as I have actually caused time to stop. So the snowballs have stopped as well, but as soon as I let go, you'll see the snowballs will just drop to the ground. Same thing goes for eggs. If I shoot a couple eggs and a couple snowballs, even if I shoot an arrow up and then I hold this, you'll see everything will actually get frozen in the air as it was. And as soon as I let go, it will all drop to the ground, including the arrow, and the arrow can actually inflict damage on somebody. Another thing that's pretty cool is if a skeleton shoots, you can freeze the arrow in midair. So if you time it up just right when a skeleton shoots, you can actually freeze it so it doesn't hit you, just like that. You have to do it a little bit before they shoot, because there's a teeny delay, just because of the clunkiness of the way I have this done. I have it done with repeaters, which also means that if I switch back and forth a bunch, like really quickly, it'll actually like wreck some stuff. So that's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, it's a very interesting concept, and I like it quite a bit. Just the way that everything actually works out. As soon as I let go, those will come plummeting down once again. I can freeze them as they're coming down as well. That's another thing, which I think is very cool. And yeah, it's, oh, that was a perfect demonstration of the arrow getting caught right there. So I'll just let go of it, and it will actually all fall to the ground. You see the skeleton resumes his position, um, and currently the only way to get rid of these guys is by either punching them with the clock when they're in the freeze mode, or if you give yourself a flint and steel. So if I go ahead and I do /give Chief Flamehead flint and steel, and I go ahead and I put that in my offhand, and I grab this, I can actually light the blocks underneath them, and it will actually start them on fire, and the flames will not go out. So that is something to note, that your flames are now, those are there forever. They will constantly be there. There is no chance of them going away at all. And so yeah, that is the basic concept just to this little time stop thing. Oh, the last thing is, if I go ahead and I summon in a ghast, so you can see that the fireball doesn't stop, but since I summoned in the ghast, it isn't frozen yet. But if I do this, then it'll go ahead and it'll actually freeze the ghast. You can't shoot fireballs, and the ghast is right here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And as you can see, I don't know for sure if the items... Yeah, okay, he didn't drop any items. But you can see that the flames have not gone out yet, but once I go off of this, eventually the flame will actually go out. Also, it works for mobs that are frozen in midair. So if I go ahead and I go into creative mode, and I go ahead and I build a little bit of a pillar, you can see the flames are starting to go out. So if I go ahead and I build a pillar, and then I go ahead and I get like a creeper, we'll just do a creeper, put that on top, and I break the block and I switch to the clock, creeper will actually stay in mid-air, just like that, leaving it vulnerable to attacks, of course, although the creepers can explode, but they don't do any damage. And so that is basically the whole thing done, and then I can just let go of the creeper, and you can see since the creeper was up high enough, the fall damage should actually end up killing the creeper itself. I believe that is the case, so if I break it and I swap, I didn't swap soon enough. But yeah, that's the basic concept, I guess. I can ignite them as well just by doing that, and they won't damage anything. So yeah, the player can still interact, they can still do things, but it's just sort of, yeah, it's in sort of like initial, like, I guess, little testing stage or whatever. So it's not perfect at all, but again, it's a pretty neat concept, and I thank you so much for you to give me that suggestion in the comments. It was really awesome. I enjoyed working with this. It was great. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys did, be sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, you could go ahead and you could subscribe. That would just be amazing, and also comment to let me know what else you would like to see in your Minecraft world built in with commands. This has been Chief Flamehead. Adios.